Good morning, folks. This morning I wanted to do an update video and kind of show what the dragging has done for the pastures now that they've had a chance to rest and grow back in grass. Now I can't recall exactly right off the top of my head how many days it's been, but I'll leave a note here at the bottom of the screen letting you know how many days of grass growth this has been and how many days of rest it's had. So we'll take a look at the grass here, and you can see it has just grown back wonderfully. The weeds, there's still a few standing, but they're dead. And this has allowed the solar energy from the sun to get down to the grass and rejuvenate some growth. Very excited about it. Now what this does for the herd, it kind of makes them, like back in the springtime when they first go into grazing, standing behind a cow is a bad idea because they've just got the runs and they will shoot that stuff out their rear end and you don't want it on you. Well, it's about the same thing here, even though it's fall, and it definitely feels like fall this morning. The last few pastures they've been in has had some dried roughage mixed in, some dried grass. Well, as you can tell, there's not a whole lot of dry content here. This is all straight protein. So with that being said, it's going to give them the runs. Now, one way I like to help manage that is I'll move them a little faster. Like this paddock's here, and you can see the line over here running down, and over here, and then it runs about, well, here, let me just show you the whole line. I'd say it's probably about a 200-yard long paddocks, just to take a rough guess. But I'll move them in here, and then this afternoon I'll move them again. The idea is to just keep moving them quickly, quickly, quickly. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm really happy with what the dragging has done. Like I said, if I wouldn't have dragged, the weeds, the ironweed and the goldenrod would have taken this over, and no solar energy could get down to the grass because it's blocked out by those weeds. So by dragging, I cut the life cycle short of the weeds. They died off. Solar energy was able to be collected by the grass, and growth became of the situation. Now, just yesterday we had an inch of rain, so that's helped a lot too. There's one thing I want to make clear. By using the drag or dragging something in the fields to knock down the weeds does more than just knock down the weeds. What it does is it feeds the soil. See, if we look down in here, you can see all kinds of dead dry matter. Like here's some goldenrod right here that I had dragged, and you see how it knocked the stem down and this plant has now died. This is feeding the soil. This is litter. Anything that dies and becomes compost, that's going to feed the soil. It's going to give you some nice topsoil eventually after a while, but you got to keep feeding the soil in order to get the nice green grass. So I'm going to go ahead and untie this poly wire, and then I'm going to call them over here and throw them in their new paddocks real quick. Boys, hip, hip. And this is just kind of a call I came up with on my own. And over a period of time, they've associated hip, hip with fresh food. It didn't happen overnight. It took lots of calling and lots of practice to get them to understand fresh food. But once you get them trained, it's just an unreal feeling to be able to walk in here, call the boys and the girls, and them all just move right over for me. Come on, boys, hip, hip, hip. Look at that, head to the ground. Smells that food. And within minutes, all I'll hear is the ripping of grass. There's 33 head here. A few of them are large frame, A lot of them are smaller frame. They got low-lying characteristics. Now throughout the summer what I've done is I've studied the plants as they move into each paddock. I kind of observe what are they favoring today. And one of the plants I've learned that they like a lot, most all summer, is the reed cannery. This reed cannery likes wet feet. It likes moist areas. Now every now and again, I'll open the paddock so, 30 feet on one end so the cattle can move over. And what happens is they move over here and they start grazing down. Well, then the remaining few over here think, wow, I need to go down to the other end. And then I've got to go down and put a little pressure on them and get them to come back this way. But for the most part, it works out really well. Now this little black guy right here coming in, he's full-blooded low-line Angus. He's almost finished. He's probably pushing 1,000 pounds right now. Come on, girl. Yep. This girl's my tail girl. She's always at the end. I don't know if it's something she practices. I haven't quite figured that out, but she's always at the end. So there we go. We've got them all moved over. They're happy. They're grazing. I'll move their water and their mineral feeder over to here. And I'll come back in about 5-6 hours and move them again clear over there on the other side of that polywire, between the polywire and the trees. So it's constant moving, constant eating and grazing. Everybody's happy, everybody's content. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.